unripe plantain flour is 100% natural flour gotten from the processing of unripe plantain. It contains no addictive and has a net content of 500 grams. True unripe plantain flour contains vitamin A, B6 and C. It is gluten-free and rich in calcium. Consuming true unripe plantain flour helps to build and strengthen stronger bones and can be a great meal for diabetic patients. It decreases your chances of constipation as it has a high fiber content and provides you with a low-fat diet. Here are some steps to prepare your true unripe plantain flour. Firstly, mix true unripe plantain flour with hot water in a pot and gradually add water till you achieve desired thickness. Place over medium heat and turn very well for 4 to 5 minutes to get the right texture. Mold into a ball and place in a bowl and allow to cool. Serve with your choice of soup. True unripe plantain flour can be eaten with any variety of soup, be it your ofe oha, ofe onugbu, gbegiri, ewedu, or your miyan kuka. To get your true unripe plantain flour, contact us at 12 Olowera Isheri Road by First Welder bus stop off Omole Phase 2, Olowera, Lagos, Nigeria, or call 070-6663-8213 or 081-6397-4447. Distributors.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found a solution. And it's Blemiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiville family.
Is the cultivation of plants and rearing of animals for human consumption, and I'm here today at the Pali Agro Farm. My name is Jennifer Obuse. It's going to be an exciting view today, so enjoy, stay tuned, and don't go anywhere.
Flour it's a one of its kind product. We have other products in the market, but our true unripe plantain flour, it's 100% plantain flour with no additive. And once you eat it, just as you said,
looking fresh already, right?
Yeah, it's a very nice product. So as we produce it, we also test it, and as you can see, it's a very good product, and we encourage people outside, the buyers, to patronize us, buy our plantain flour, and they will see the difference. The difference is clear.
We have one who understands the history of Pali Agro Farm. He is no other person than a pioneer staff and a Marshall Teslin. Good to have you here, staff.
Thank you very much, sister. I'm the one of the first staff in the Pali Agro because we are first behind BBK before we come to Pali Agro since 2003. We start from the fish pond. After fish pond, we enter to the poultry side. When you are somewhere working 2-3 years, if you don't get anything there, you leave. But I'm here, achieve anything. This is where I hear that I'm married. Wow. When we are in Ibafu, that's where I'm going to be with my MD, go to my marriage at Ibafu because the company do the wedding for me.
Now, for every Pali Agro product, what will you say to people out there?
I remember when I take our market to the first time, people are calling us, they are calling us Agoro. So everybody saying we are looking for agro egg. That's what they call us in first town. If you are in Mushi, they are looking for Abekuta egg. There's many products are spoiled, they are selling in the market, but our product is the best in the market. Everybody has lined up, they are waiting for our product. People are using our product to sell their product. I'm the managing distributor of all the Pali Agro products in Lagos. Please, people keep watching iBrandTV.
Hello and welcome to iBrand Daybreak. My name is Michael Nath, and I have here with me my co-host, Margaret Opara. Margaret, how are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, Michael. Good morning.
You look every bit fine.
Thank you. Like I say, it's a lot doing. Yeah, I'm a Christian, so it's a lot doing. So how do you do?
And how do you do?
Amazing, thanks. On my way back from work yesterday,
Okay.
Something happened and it was quite, one thing with Lagos is I was just passing through a particular junction called Ogba Junction, and it was, the whole, everywhere was so rowdy, and so like, which kind of Ogba is this? What kind of Lagos is this? And
That's
in my head, I was like,
during the rush hour, I guess.
Yeah, rush hour back from work, like about
Okay.
6:30, 7 about. I was like, what kind of Ogba is this? What kind of Lagos is this? In my heart, I was like, oh, sorry, bro. Maybe you are just a JJC. What they got, Johnny just.
I guess the person is new.
Yeah, and when I was
Okay.
doing well, when I came to Lagos newly, like I could tell if I didn't know that environment. When you get to that place, you're so confused. You're seeing bikes running, you're seeing tricycles running, you're seeing cars, buses, everyone shouting and people standing on the road. Everyone.
That's Lagos for you.
I'm like, this guy, maybe he's new, and he sounded so frustrated. I was like, what kind of Ogba is this? What kind of
Definitely, definitely he's a newcomer. He's a newcomer to
Lagos.
Lagos.
He understood how Lagos is. He would understand that Lagos is a fast city. Everyone is on the fast pace. Nobody wants to relent, because if you don't move fast, people will even push you.
Yeah, overtake you.
Yeah, overtaking is allowed in Lagos. Yes.
Definitely, there's no doubt about that.
Right,
what do we have to offer today?
Well, you'll be the one to tell them, but I always like to say it's going to be a roller coaster of amazing events, from newspaper updates to newspaper review, news updates rather, to newspaper review, to sports with Jidechi, and we have the Tweet Central. Of course, we also have the topic. The guests will come out to flesh some topical issues for us today on the show.
Yeah. Okay. Right away, we are kicking off this segment with the news updates.
But then we have to take a short break first. When we come back, we'll come for the news updates. So stay with us.
Oh, sure. You're welcome back, and here we are with the news update. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arrested former Governor of Imo State, Rochas Okorocha. Okorocha, who is the senator representing Imo North, was arrested on Tuesday at about 4:15 p.m. at his private office in Abuja. A source at the commission said that an invitation was sent to the former governor, but he failed to turn up as advised. EFCC operatives, who had been on his trail for days, stormed his office on Tuesday evening and got him arrested.
And more stories, Nigeria is expected to receive 6 of the 12 Super Tucanos ordered from the United States mid-July. According to the presidential spokesman Garba Shehu, 14 Nigerian pilots are currently training with the aircraft at Moody Air Force Base in Georgia. Garba posted a video of what appeared to be a test flight operations on his verified Twitter handle. The video was credited to Sierra Nevada Corporation, a private American aerospace firm. The announcement comes after the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Matairo, appeared before a committee on lawmakers at House of Rep on Monday.
The Northern Governors Forum has decried the killing of 12 Army personnel in Konshisha, local government area of Benue State. The chairman of the forum and Plateau Governor Simon Lalong criticized the act in a statement issued by his Director of Press and Public Affairs, Makut Macham, on Tuesday in Jos, the state capital. He cited the act as capable of demoralizing security personnel from giving their best in fighting insecurity in the country, especially as the incident occurred when the soldiers were on assignment to ensure the security of lives and property. The chairman urged the army not to be discouraged by the killings, but continue to carry out their legitimate duty of defending Nigeria's territorial integrity.
Now on the foreign scene, dozens of demonstrators gathered in downtown Columbus, Ohio, to protest against recent police shooting of black men, including downright. Local media said officers used pepper spray to disperse the crowd after they broke a lock and entered Columbus Police Headquarters. Mayor of Columbus, Andrew Ginter, said he supported non-violent protests over police shooting, but that violence and destruction would not be tolerated. Downright was shot by a police officer during a traffic stop in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, on April 11th. And now that's our news updates at this hour. We'll take a short break now. Up next is the newspaper review, so stay with us.
For body, no chemical at all. This na real banga. No more wahala or pandy washy. Just put on for fire and your food is done ready. Everybody follow me, chop banga, hey banga, oh. Make you follow me, chop banga cook don easy. Bangana palm fruit where they come out. Put them inside can. You fit use banga cook any kind soup where you like. And other food them like rice, beans, and even yam. Now Pali Agro Product Limited then they manufacture them. For distribution, make you call 070-666-38213. Banga, for make your food in your from the farm, it good for body. No chemical at all. This na real banga. No more wahala or pandy washy. Just put on for fire and your food is done ready. Everybody follow me, chop banga, hey banga, oh. Make you follow me, chop banga cook don easy. Bangana palm fruit wey dem comot, put am inside can. You fit use banga cook any kind soup wey you like, and other food dem like rice, beans and even yam. Na Pali Agro Product Limited dem dey manufacture am. For distribution, make you call 070-666-38213. Banga, for make your food yummy.
Hi everyone, my name is Chinwe Ebili. I'm here to introduce to you a very nutritious food produced and packaged by Pali Agro Product Limited. For this reason, the market has increased in stock. What are we talking about? True unripe plantain flour. It contains iron, fiber, vitamin B6, which helps your digestive system. Take a close look. True unripe plantain flour, because it is satisfying, unique, and good for the red blood cell. It reduces risk of diabetes and excellent for production. Hurry now while the stock lasts. True unripe plantain flour is available in all leading stores nationwide. Produced and packaged by Pali Agro Product Limited, Ashikpa Village in Ogun State. True unripe plantain flour, superfood for healthy living.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. And it's Blemiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiville family.
Many thanks for joining us on iBrand Daybreak. Now it's time for our newspaper review. And joining us to do this is Leo Issa, a public affairs analyst. Thank you, Leo, for joining us.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you. It's good to be here. All right, yeah. Okay, now we'll kick off with the Nation newspaper. The screaming headline here says, Governors kick against Buhari's executive order. And with riders saying we don't need E010 to implement financial autonomy for legislature and judiciary. And also Eldad from 65 elders from 65 years account for 60% of COVID-19 deaths. Okorocha in EFCC custody for alleged 7.9 billion naira fraud. Page 4 carries the full story. And the top corner says Fayose alleges overvoting at Southwest PDP Congress. And police inspectors killed, guns stolen in Abuja and Delta State. Adeboye predicts end to insurgency soon. And millions lost to Kwara Market Inferno. Page 27 carries the full story. And Michael, over to you.
Yes, we've got the Punch next, and the screaming headline there has it: Legislature Judiciary Autonomy. Governors oppose Buhari Executive Order 10 back financial autonomy. That's coming from Lalong with riders there. Federal government can't force governors to enforce financial autonomy. Plateau governor. And another rider. NGF plans talks with judiciary workers to end Jusun's 8-day strike. At the topmost portion of the Punch, we have EFCC picks up Okorocha. Ex-governor faces interrogators over money laundering. Saraki 2023 presidential bid posters flood Abuja. BUA 27 others now have active refinery licenses, DPR. At the bottom part, we have Adeboye visits El Rufai. Governors say Nigeria needs divine intervention. Cops hunters go after abductors of 3 women in Ibadan, Ijebode Road. And finally, we have no place in Ogun safe, says NMA. Doctors, nurses begin strike.
Now we'll move to Daily Sun newspaper. I'll start by the right, says IBob dismisses Ibrago formation. And the top story says Army recalls retirees. We took steps to support national security operations. And beneath paper says Pastor Adeboye, APC go spiritual on security challenge. With riders saying Nigeria will soon overcome problems, says our CCG General Overseer. And the top corner says EFCC arrests the Danes ex-Imo governor Okorocha. Rider saying ex-governor held after 5-hour standoff. It was mere invitation, Okorocha's aide said. And also the FCT reintroduces park and pay police policy in Abuja. And COVID-19 update saying US suspends use of Johnson & Johnson vaccine over blood clot. And APC caretaker committee to meet on timetable sale of nomination form. That's for the Anambra gubernatorial elections now. And the police strike. Federal government invites ASUP to 2 separate meetings. Leo, we have a lot of stories here, but I would like to kick off with the story on the Daily Sun newspaper that says Pastor Adeboye, APC go spiritual on security challenge. And the General Overseer said Nigeria will soon overcome security problem. What's your take on this?
It's interesting. At least for now, we have a pastor coming out to talk about the security challenge.
Okay.
It's been something that we've been clamoring for. But I wouldn't like the part where they have to predict that this or that is going to happen. In my own opinion, the government and the people up there know what is going on with the security. For a cleric to have access to the security, the headsmen, is it the headsmen or the bandits, snap pictures with them, and, you know, feel comfortable among them, and the government keeps telling us that we don't know where these people are. It begs the question.
Sure.
So I don't understand what is happening. There is a lot that is happening. They have to tell us what is going on in the country. We have all the facilities to handle these things. We learn every day. They travel abroad. They know what the security measures are there. So why are we continuing with this issue?
Meaning, in other words, Nigerians have answers to their...
Exactly. They have answers to these questions.
Thank you very much. And I want to take us now to the Nigerian Tribune. And the screaming headline there is, which is the particular one I want us to look at. Kidnappers kill policemen, abduct 4 in Abuja, 3 women in Ibadan. Amotekun arrests 3 suspected kidnappers in Ekiti State. This is talking about insecurity. What's your take on this?
My take is about the same thing. If the state security measures are put in place properly, we won't have these issues. We know all these things. We know what to do, and we know how to handle these issues.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
All right.
We know what to do and to handle these issues.
All right, thank you so much, Leo, for being our guest on the show today.
Thank
We
you.
hope to have more segments with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming around.
All right, now we'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll go into the topics for the day. So stay with us.
Fresh from the farm, it good for body. No chemical at all. This na real banga. No more wahala or pandy washy. Just put on for fire and your food is ready. Everybody follow me, chop banga, hey banga, oh. Make you follow me, chop
Banga cook don easy. Banga na palm fruit wey dem comot, put am inside can. You fit use banga cook any kind soup wey you like, and other food dem like rice, beans, and even yam. Na Pali Agro Product Limited dem dey manufacture am. For distribution, make you call 070-666-38213. Banga for make your food yummy.
You're still watching Daybreak here on iBrandTV, and right now we have this former President Goodluck Jonathan has called for the strengthening of the nation's electoral laws in a way that only the power of paper and not the courts is allowed to determine the elections. Now, the president, former president, stressed that the standard practice is that the electoral management bodies exercise the sole responsibility of returning candidates and declaring winners, while the judiciary complements by either upholding declared results or nullifying flawed elections and ordering a rerun. Now, the former president stated this on Monday in an interaction with reporters during a visit to TOS-TV network studios in Abuja. Jonathan further noted that countries that conduct free and fair elections experience less election-related litigations, while numerous courts cases following elections are the hallmark of fragile democracies. Now, joining us to further deliberate on this very issue is a public affairs analyst, Femi Johnson. Femi, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Femi.
Thanks for having me. Good morning,
Good
Mike.
morning.
Good morning, Margaret.
Good morning. Nice shirt, Femi.
Oh,
Yeah.
Beautiful, honestly.
Thanks for the compliment.
All right, then.
Now, Femi, ballots should determine election winners, not the courts. Do you have a contrary view?
Well, let me start by saying, in an ideal situation, the ballot or the electorate or the vote counts should determine the winner of the day, should determine who's going to be our president, who's going to be a governor, who's going to occupy any political office.
Okay.
You know. But given the Nigerian situation, if you understand our case study very well, our module very well, our political module very well, you will know that over the years, that's been in contrary. Our electoral process or the winners in this climb is largely determined by court, you know, or by the judiciary. And for me, if you look at the extent at which the court or the judiciary determines who wins or who loses an election in Nigeria, it's alarming. Now, I'll give you an example. In the last election, that was 2019 election, that was Bayelsa, you know, where everybody thought all the candidates of the APC, that was David Leon, was declared winner of that election initially by INEC, and 24 hours to his swearing. In fact, he was preparing for swearing in. They've had dress rehearsals and all that. And few minutes after, the Supreme Court ruled otherwise. And then the candidate of the PDP was declared winner. Now, he was disqualified because on the basis that his running mate had some issues with his qualification and all that. So that's the case with Bayelsa. Another one is Imo State. It happened in Imo, where, you know, the candidate of the PDP, you know, eventually was, you know, in fact, that was, he was even sworn in. The candidate was sworn in, and the Supreme Court ruled otherwise, and now you now have the present governor.
It wasn't only sworn in; he had already hit the ground and running.
Several, you know, several preparations were done. You know, you can say maybe he's the governor for. It was the governor for some days, and eventually it was upturned by the Supreme Court. So that's been the situation. And then if you look at a lot of court cases, you know, even the last election, you know, what happened was, looking at the 2019 election, INEC had to withdraw about 64 certificates of return because some people were declared winner, they were even sworn in, but as soon as court ruled, INEC had to withdraw their certificate of return. So you can see in Nigeria, it has been the practice, but, you know, I somehow agree with President Jonathan, the former president, Jonathan. I'm not trying to.
I already wonder, we've been talking of course.
Yeah.
That should be slip of tongue.
Yeah, for
the former president, Jonathan, I somehow agree with him that it should be the people. It should be the voice of the people. But why do we resort to, you know, court? I understand the fact that the court is like the hope of the common man, is the constitutionally, that's the best place to seek redress or recourse for any ruling, and that's why you have that. But the rate at which we have it in Nigeria, it calls for serious concern.
All right, Femi, I was still on the statement by the former president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, saying the ballot papers are not a court is allowed to determine winners of elections. And don't forget, cases of ballot paper snatching and also already printed ballot paper. So if we allow in a setting like the Nigerian setting where our electoral system is not as organized as we would want it to be, would this statement still be a very good idea if I'm asking you?
Let me state this categorically. In anywhere in the world, you don't have any country or any place in the world where you have a perfect election. It's not possible, because human factors will always come in. Now, what are these human factors? Human tendencies, because of our interest, because of our political or our kind of politicking, especially in Nigeria, where we see politics to be a do or die affair. It's a big thing in Nigeria. Politics is a big thing. And, you know, it's also being driven by the fact that self-gains. I need to be there so that my livelihood can be better, my source of living can be better. I need to be there so that I can have my own share, figuratively, of the national cake. These are things that drive our electoral process. And with this kind of mindset, you see that elections that ought to take place, that ought to be fair, you see element of violence, rigging, and all that. But the truth is, if all these vices are being taken care of, where there's no ballot snatching, where the elections are free and fair, there won't be need to seek a redress in the courts of law. So that's why Nigerians are crying or they are calling for a better electoral process, so that in Nigeria we can have elections and it won't look like a war. You know, when conducting election in Nigeria, it's a very big thing.
They deploy
in other climes,
and all.
in other climes, even election is seen as a regular thing, whereby even before the actual day of the election, you started voting. You know, look at the U.S. election. People started voting online. Ballot system of the mail system of voting was adopted, perhaps because of COVID-19. Even so, the bulk of the votes came in even before the election date. So they don't see it the way we see it here. But here, we have to go on public holidays. We have to stop movement of vehicles, you know, because we know the impact. We know the intensity of what we're going to do. So until we have a situation where election is seen as, or the gladiators, they are seeing election as an opportunity to serve the people. Until that is
not to get rich.
Until that is our motive, then we can get it right.
All right. Thank you so much, Femi, for your thoughts on this. Of course, we'll have more segments with you some other time. Right?
It's my pleasure.
All right, then. And now we'll take a short break. Up next is Sports with Judechi. So stay tuned.
For body, no chemical at all. This na real banga. No more wahala or pandy washy. Just put on for fire and your food is ready. Everybody follow me chop banga, hey banga, oh. Make you follow me chop
Banga cook don easy. Banga na palm fruit wey dem comot, put am inside can. You fit use banga cook any kind soup wey you like, and other food dem like rice, beans and even yam. Na Pali Agro Product Limited dem dey manufacture am. For distribution, make you call 070-666-38213. Banga, for make your food yummy.
from the farm, e good for body, no chemical at all. This na real banga. No more wahala or pandy washy. Just put on for fire and your food is ready. Everybody follow me chop banga, hey banga, oh. Make you follow me chop
Banga cook don easy. Banga na palm fruit wey dem comot, put am inside can. You fit use banga cook any kind soup wey you like, and other food dem like rice, beans and even yam. Na Pali Agro Product Limited dem dey manufacture am. For distribution, make you call 070-666-38213. Banga, for make your food yummy.
Hi everyone, my name is Chinwe Ebili. I'm here to introduce to you a very nutritious food produced and packaged by Pali Agro Product Limited. For this reason, the market has increased in stock. What are we talking about? True unripe plantain flour. It contains iron, fiber, vitamin B6, which helps your digestive system. Take a close look through unripe plantain flour because it is satisfying, unique, and good for the red blood cell. It reduces risk of diabetes and excellent for production. Hurry now while the stock lasts. True unripe plantain flour is available in all leading stores nationwide. Produced and packaged by Pali Agro Product Limited, Ashikpa Village in Ogun State. True unripe plantain flour, superfood for healthy living.
Yes, welcome. This is still iBrand Daybreak, and this is the sports segment of the show. Yes, here we get to talk about some of the big stories right now in the world of sports. One of which involved Nigeria's Ahmed Musa. Yes, I talked about him yesterday, Ahmed Musa. As at yesterday, it was just speculations. It had not happened yet, but today I can tell you it's officially official. Yes. Anyhow you want to call it, anyhow you want to put it, you can put it that way. Ahmed Musa is back to the shores of the country. He will be playing in Nigeria for the first time. Well, not Nigeria, let's say the Nigerian League for the first time since 2010 when he left Kano Pillars for VVV Venlo right there in Netherlands. He has completed his switch to the Semek Sugida that will be playing right there in Kano State. And Musa is expected to play on loan with them till the end of the season, the end of the Nigeria Professional Football League 2021 season. Yes, and this is coming because there are a couple of qualifying games that are coming up in the month of June actually. And Musa is saying he don't want to be out of club. He wants to maintain fitness ahead of the Super Eagles qualifying matches that will be coming up later this year. And Musa is telling everybody that he really wants to be fit, and that's why he's joining Kano Pillars. He was unable to complete a switch to West Bromwich Albion earlier in January, and this time around he's been able to get a club that he can play for the first time since he left his Saudi Arabian club Al Nassr. Let's move on from Ahmed Musa and talk about Ben Uzo, another player who is returning to the shores of Nigeria. Yes, he's not a football player but a basketball player, and Ben Uzo is joining Rivers Hoopers. Yes, the D-Tigers player, the D-Tigers star man, he's been able to complete a switch to Rivers Hoopers. He has played for big clubs like Toronto Raptors, also played right there in Turkey, and now the 2019, 2015, also 2016, he has played in some of the big competitions for the Nigeria's men's basketball team at the Olympics, at the Afro Basketball Championship, which Nigeria won in 2015, and also at the World Cup that held in 2019 in China. It's a good thing that Rivers Hoopers are getting such big player ahead of the Basketball Africa League that will be going on in Kigali, Rwanda later next month. It's a big one considering the fact that you have Ahmed Musa, the captain of the Super Eagles team, coming to play in Nigeria. You have Ben Uzo, a big player, a big name for the basketball team, returning to play in the Nigeria Basketball League. Good one for Nigeria, good one for these players, I would say at this point. Yesterday night we saw the UEFA Champions League go down, and for the first time in a long while, Chelsea are back into the semi-finals of the competition. Yes, it's a good one for their fans. They officially have become the English team to make it to the semi-finals of the competition 8 times, ahead of Manchester United, who have the record previously. They defeated their opponents on aggregate. They lost last night's game by 1-0 against Porto, but they cruised to the next round of the competition, considering they did so on aggregate. The other game of the night was the one between Bayern Munich and, of course, Paris Saint-Germain. Paris unable to give that one to PSG, to Bayern actually. They lost the game by 1-0 against the defending champions Bayern Munich. And now PSG can say, well, we lost this one, but what matters is that we qualified on aggregate, and we are now in the semi-finals of the competition. On Wednesday night, we would be seeing Manchester City and Borussia Dortmund, and of course the one between Real Madrid and Liverpool. How it will pan out, only time will tell. We can only hope and wheat at this point. Back to you, Margaret.
All right, thank you so much for that update, Judechi. We welcome back Ahmed Musa. We're glad to have him back in Nigeria. And also, Chelsea. Congratulations to Chelsea fans. I know we will not hear what, according to the dilemma, we will not hear what. Like, it's a saying that says the stone the builders rejected and now the chief cornerstone. If I'm correct, yes. Well, thank you so much, Judechi, for that amazing update. We'll take a short break now. We'll be back for more stories, so stay tuned.
From the farm, it good for body. No chemical at all. This na real banga. No more wahala or pandy washy. Just put on for fire and your food is already. Everybody follow me chop banga, hey banga, oh. Make you follow me chop
Banga cook don easy. Bangana palm fruit wey dem comot, put am inside can. You fit use banga cook any kind soup wey you like, and other food dem like rice, beans and even yam. Na Pali Agro Product Limited dem dey manufacture am. For distribution, make you call 070 666 38213. Banga for make your food in your
You're still watching Daybreak midweek, and we're still very much here to dish out the goodies we have in stock for you this morning. Still very much around. We have
Femi Johnson.
Yes, always.
Talk about you first.
Oh, me first. Well, I'm not the special guest. He is the special guest. Okay, Femi, you still on the discussion we had before we went on the sports update, and the president, former president, I was just about to call him president again. Please forgive me. Former president.
Where is this virus coming from?
There is this thing about the president indicating interest or something to contest and for presidency come 2023. I mean, this idea of one mistaking the former president for the president, it keeps recurring.
Yeah. So it's not a thing with us now. It's a mistake.
Well, it's his constitutional right, and so we're hoping to see how that will translate to, whatever it is. We're here, we're Nigerians, and then we are hoping to see what will happen.
All right, then. So this statement, the former president said he noted that countries that conduct free and fair elections experience less election-related litigations, while numerous court cases following elections are the hallmark for fragile democracy. So what's your take on this?
You see, litigations, it's not really, it has not been helpful. You wonder why court cases linger, why cases linger in court in Nigeria. They can take 1, 2, 3 years, and for the sitting governor, it's a form of distraction. When you are elected into office, you're expected to kick the ground running from day one. But when you are not sure of the validity of your election, you are not even sure if you're the governor, you're not sure if any court case is going to arise, if there's going to be any court ruling. I remember vividly that happened in Ekiti, where the former governor, Shegun, was the governor. He was ruling, and then all of a sudden, the Supreme Court ruled otherwise, nullified his election, and they had a rerun. Another person won the election, which was what led to the emergence of Dr. Kayode Fayemi. That was his first time, So I agree with the former president. It brings a lot of distraction, into the process of leadership, process of management, because as a governor, you usually have 4 years to plan. But when you are not sure you're going to have 4 years, you will start waiting. The waiting game is there. And as a result of that, it leaves vacuum in governance. You will be not so sure, especially when you need to embark on capital projects. You're not so sure if in the next 2 years you'll be the governor. Maybe in the next 4 years you'll be the governor. So you'll be looking at short term, maybe in the next 2 or 3 months, and that won't help the process of development and the growth of that state. So it has been the situation. But why do we always have this? Because our electoral process are marred with violence, with irregularities, lack of transparency, and these are things people go to court to clear, so that you'll be very sure of what you're coming up with. And as long as that has been the situation, ideally I understand the court is like the hope to seek redress, but it has, been the trend in Nigeria, and it's really not helping our electoral process.
Now, there is nothing wrong with you taking sides, and as sharing the view of former President Jonathan, that ballots and not courts should determine who the winner of the election is. But can we run away from it, especially when you consider the fact that we keep having cases after elections? It's only the court that can settle these cases. So if ballots determine the winner at the first instance, and there is a reason to go to the courts to settle a case, there is no way we can talk about the ballot, coming in. Everything about the ballot is gone. It is now the court that takes the place of the ballot. And that is justifiable, isn't it?
Yeah, the reality is we can't do without the court or the judiciary. Now, the essence of having a court or having laws is to bring order. And when you have order, there are bound to be disorder. When you have rule of law, there's bound to be the opposite. So that's the essence of having the judiciary or a court, because there will always be dispute. It is part of human nature, human existence. Whatever we do, there are bound to be irregularities, there are bound to be disputes. And that's why that justifies the existence of court or the judiciary, where they are constitutionally empowered to determine who is right or wrong. They are constitutionally empowered to interpret the law. Is their position. So that will always form part of our existence. In fact, it is not new. It happened in the Second Republic. I remember in the 1960s, the election between Awolowo and Shagari, where Awolowo of the UPN, Unity Party of Nigeria, and Shagari, NPN, that was in the 70s, And then it got to a situation where everybody thought Awolowo, for being the charismatic kind of leader, for who he is, everybody thought he will win that election. I mean, the court case. But eventually, the Supreme Court declared Shagari as winner. And so it is not a new thing. If you look at, we didn't see more of that in the First Republic, but in the Second Republic, we saw more of that. And then even by the time from 1999 up to now. So as far as human nature is there, human irregularities will happen, then there's no point. It is practically impossible to say we can't do without courts. But what we're trying to say is that shouldn't be the norm, because it's rather becoming the norm in Nigeria, whereby every election someone must head to the tribunal or you must head to the court to get justice.
There is this very thing that goes contrary to what you just said, and that is talking about 2015, when the sitting president, former President
Jonathan.
It was the first of its kind.
Yeah.
That's never happened before, and that is the reason today former President Jonathan is globally hailed.
In IST.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, still talking about that, why do politicians, Nigerian politicians, don't deem it wise to toe the path of honor, just like Jonathan did?
I'll tell you why, and it's obvious. One, let me let me give you this background. I'm your friend now.
Yes.
Because I like, painting scenarios.
Okay.
Now I'm your friend, and eventually something happened. I joined a political party. I now become a member of the National Assembly. What happens? What it means is I have access to resources that I've not had maybe in the last 30 or 40 years or 50 years of my life. In fact, it is the perception, or it's been generally perceived, that when you go into politics in Nigeria, it's one of the quickest way to be rich, to be famous, and to be popular. Now, if what is driving our going to politics is that I want to serve the people, that will have an idea, but that is not. Because someone who in the last 40 years or 50 years of his life has not handled 1 million, 10 million, what it means is by the time you get to the corridor of power, you have access to funds. And that's why people are desperate. Because once you have access to funds, it's human nature. Greed comes in, you have this perception. And then it's driven by the fact that our systemic problem, our environment, and every politician is being seen as a money bag. So that wherever you go, you're expected to give this person money, you're expected to give this person money. And even as a politician, if you don't do that, you become unpopular. And so if that is the reality in this environment, then that informs the action of the politicians. So you see them, they want to do everything. Like I was trying to paint a scenario. Once I become a senator now, you start seeing all my friends calling me. Even my enemies, they want to make peace with me. In fact, I remember a comedian make a joke, once you become a politician or you're elected into a political office in Nigeria, even your forefathers will start visiting you in your dreams, asking for, another round of burial and all that. So what we're trying to say is that our psyche, our perception, our philosophy, our belief when it comes to politicking in Nigeria is wired, or they are wired this way. And as long as these things exist, an average in fact, you look like the odd man out if you're into politics and you don't play along. Yeah. So as long as all these things exist, it's been very difficult for objectivity to rule our kind of politicking. Rather than that, what we have is subjectivity, this stomach infrastructure, what is in need for me. Yeah. And that's why an average politician is very desperate, because money. You see, one of the most powerful presidents in the world, they are African leaders, because of the kind of resources they control. We practice our model of leadership in Africa can be traced to this monarchical kind of leadership, whereas a monarch, you control everything, whatever you say, nobody contradicts, and that is the style of leadership we've adopted in Africa. It's more prevalent in Africa. So as a sitting president, as a governor, even as small as a local a councillor, you're controlling what a professor cannot control. You have access to resources like, contrary to what an average man.
Which should not be the case anyway. All right, thank you, Femi. I know you have a lot to dish out for the consumption of the public.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, now we've been speaking to Femi Johnson, a public affairs analyst. We'll take a short break now, but we'll be back for the Tweet Central. Please stay with us.
Oh boy, winning you was so easy.
I just couldn't stand those your powerful shots. That's what happened.
Really? Let's go to my place for dinner.
This fufu is so nice.
It's true unripe plantain flour.
True unripe plantain flour is delicious.
Yes, true unripe plantain flour is what I serve my husband for swallows. It's easy to prepare, fortified with vitamin A, low in sugar and cholesterol, rich in fiber that helps the heart, builds and strengthens the bone, and his energy level is boosted.
Through unripe plantain flour, no additives, 100% natural, a product of Pali Agro Products Nigeria. Through unripe plantain flour, available in all leading stores.
You're still watching iBrand Daybreak. If you're just tuning in, I'm sorry you've missed a greater part of the show. But not to worry, later today we'll have a repeat belt. And just so you don't miss more of it, so tomorrow by 9 a.m., please tune on to iBrand Daybreak, just so you don't have to go through all the stress of having to wait for the repeat belt. Now it's time for the Tweet Central. Twitter has a lot for us. Twitter always has a lot for us. But there's this interesting one here. Someone tweeted at tweeted and said, maybe it's just me, but I don't really believe a lot of Nigerian men even make for good lifetime partners, especially when I try to select for the criteria important to me. They just bring very little of needed use to the table. Everything they usually bring, I already have. And then at Avil Amaka, who seems to be mixed breed, foreigner, mixed breed, says, as someone who has traveled extensively, the idea of writing off an entire nationality is crazy to me. Nigerian men have all the things I find important in a partner. They have a strong sense of family values and culture. They make great pride in providing for their family. I think she's an Australian, she's an Australian. So she countered the first lady who made. So another Nigerian said, at Moonlight 9508 said, firstly, we invited this one to Black People's Thing. No, I don't support this. No racism here. We do not support racism here. And she said, a Nigerian man, probably. Also, imagine trying to get picked by a Nigerian man. SMH, shaking my head. And someone else tweeted and said, a white woman can't have similar experiences with an African woman in any country or continent in this world. Not in Africa, not in Europe. The fact that she's being cheered for invalidating African women's experience is an issue in itself, but I'm exhausted to let them cheer. Well, I wouldn't support any form of racism. You don't have to bring, as much as she has her opinion, but bringing in the black and the white thing is not necessary, if you ask me.
No, not at all. You see, that thing there is just like the saying, a prophet is not known or recognized in his land.
Because a Nigerian man,
Nigerian men are up there, at the top of their games, you know, if you ask me, you know, because a lot of white men, white women out there who have tasted both sides.
Tasted both sides, okay.
I've always hailed Nigerian
So I don't know what the tasting means, but I know that I just hope you're talking about something else and not what I'm thinking in my head.
Really?
All right, at this point, we have to wrap up the show now. I'm sure you enjoyed every bit of it, and thank you for always tuning in to watch with us. Like I'd always say, without you, there is no iBrand Daybreak. And I will leave you with this wonderful one from Peter Marshall. He says, the measure of life is not in duration, but in donation. I'll take that again. The measure of life is not in its duration, but its donation. That means it's not how long, but what you donate to life. That's what matters. My name is Margaret Opara.
A very good quote there. My name is Michael Nath. Another exciting edition is on tomorrow.